Love wants you, we can bring it on the floor. Never danced like this before. We don't talk about it.
Hey guys, what's cracking? We are here today just doing a quick analysis video of basically what happened in that last game against the Memphis Mammoth Lions. This is probably one of our worst season openers. I think the first time we haven't won our season opening game ever, and I'm pretty upset out of that, especially coming off a championship against Ant, who isn't a bad player by any means, but not the player I would have expected to open up my first loss against, if you know what I mean. Definitely not a bad player. He went positive record last season. He's a good personal friend of mine also. But regardless, I just wanted to take a look at this actually, and like what really happened here. Obviously, we're actually watching from his perspective right now. I'm not sure how to change that here. I think I change it once the game starts. But we're just gonna take a quick look through it. I don't usually do these videos. I don't make a plan. I hopefully won't make a habit of them as far as I don't lose too much. I want to keep making these. I also won't do this for every game I lose. On the other hand, I'm just doing this because like there's a moment where I made a pretty critical mistake that I feel like is pretty uncharacteristic of me, and I want to go over that and how other things may have affected the game from there, and so on and so forth. So let's hop right into it. So I'm going to switch sides. So right off the bat, this lead matchup actually looks pretty unfavorable. It's extremely favorable for me because I am a Salt Vest wishy-washy, which can take this hit, and as you can see, eats up this volt switch. Unfortunately, there were a couple mistakes where I made. I think running Bullet Punch on Metagross was one of my first mistakes, and that came into effect pretty quickly because Metagross was basically put in a situation where I had to switch in pretty early on in the game and start putting on pressure, which is right around here. And had I had Earthquake in that situation, I could have easily put a lot more pressure on. But unfortunately, Metagross was running Bullet Punch, Zen Headbutt, Meteor Mash, and I forget what the fourth move was, but it wasn't running Earthquake because Earthquake obviously hits 3 of the 4 mons in this team super effectively, and then only 1 is resisted, and that's not a Pokemon that's going to switch into Meteor Mash or Zen Headbutt. So right off the bat, that's definitely a team building mistake that I made, and ended up putting me in a situation where I had to click moves that weren't going to net kills, like Meteor Mash. And even though that was obviously still a ton of damage, and at the moment during the game, I was excited by the fact that everything on this team was going to get 2 KO'd by me. In hindsight, like that's definitely something that like I could have been better prepared by. So I made this switch into Rock Slide, which was definitely a good play because I can just go back to Metagross here. See, however, if you realize quickly, like I could have completely avoided all that chip damage if I had just had Earthquake and just gone for it, because Earthquake KOs 3 of the Pokemon on this team and does a hell of a lot to the other 2. And then 1, obviously, we don't hit that hard, but it really would have been a better move to run instead of a Bullet Punch. When I did run Bullet Punch, and I really wasn't planning on it originally because I realized that priority. I was aware, I want to make it clear, that Psychic Terrain would have gotten rid of my priority working, but I just wanted to have that because Banded Metagross can still use a really hard, strong Bullet Punch, and it was nice against a really generally faster team. So there's that, but I don't know. I wish I had run Earthquake in hindsight, 2020 hindsight, but that's kind of what this video is about. So here we're able to click Zen Headbutt, but again, this was a situation where I could have definitely had the ability to click Earthquake, but Zen Headbutt there, not a bad play, so that's a fine play. Here was where I made my first mistake, was that assuming this thing wasn't was Life Orb and not potentially Specs. I don't know what I could have done better because Specs was gonna hit something very hard. So like this wasn't a bad play by me. It was in the sense that like something was gonna get sacked. It's just a bad play in the sense that I should have set up my Rocks, because I said in the beginning of this game that Rocks was basically what's gonna seal the deal as far as like, this game strategy was get my Rocks and win, because Magirna basically KOs everything after so it basically KOs everything pretty quickly after we get Rocks damage on it. So where I made my mistake was letting this not get Rocks up reliably. It would have been much better to sack off, I think, probably Wishy-Washy or even Druddigan at this point in the match. Even Metagross potentially, and then get my Rocks up more reliably. So that was a problem. But next up, so here's where I made my first mistake, because I didn't run this, and this is the one big mistake of the match. I really want to talk about, because obviously I made a mistake and didn't calc flash cannon on this Gengar, and that's completely an error on my bad. However, it didn't take me out of the game. It just made the game a lot more interesting, because had I gotten my rocks up earlier in the match, this Gengar right now would be in range for me to KO it. And that's the calc I had done prior to the match. Make sure that it would do that. But I forgot and thought I thought that I would have been fine. And lo and behold, I was not fine. Because I just simply forgotten that I needed rocks up. And I should have calced and been more careful during the match. And I'm usually, well, it's very uncharacteristic for me to make a mistake, because I'm known as a guy who makes a lot of calcs and really knows that's the one thing he's good at. So this was a very uncharacteristic mistake. And it didn't, but again, I want to reiterate, what frustrates me about this match was that it didn't set the tone for the match. It didn't end the match for me. It just made what was, for me, I thought, a very comfortable winning position at this point in the match right now, because I have two Pokemon that can come in and threaten this thing a lot. So I was obviously concerned about that beyond this point, but I wasn't out of it. But at this point, basically, Shift Gear, obviously Flash Cannon, doesn't manage to get the KO, and everything spirals out of control. From here, because this Gengar basically goes to town on my team, I'm able to U-turn out, and I'm able to reestablish the game as pretty much 50-50 at this point all over again. And here's where things get ugly, because this thing was Life Orb, so this thing, my Druddigan couldn't take 2 hits, and it got a crit there. Basically, had it been a Scarf variant, and it had it not crit there, I would have been able to take 2. Crit didn't matter, because a close combat would have killed me, even if I hadn't crit. But he had not been Life Orb, so that's again me kind of being a little more too presumptuous about sets, I assume. I thought I knew Antoine's team building a little better than that. I made some more bad predicts from that early in the match, but the game still wasn't over, is what I want to stress. I still have this game not in the bag, but I'm still in very comfortable fighting position in this game. Like, it's not out of my, but right here is obviously the fateful air/miss, which garnered a lot of attention by everybody watching that video, and everybody found it really funny, and I honestly find it kind of funny in response that I threw a chair across the room. But Bullet Punch came in nice, as it managed to save me some differential here. But in the end, it didn't matter, because X Gonna Give It To You couldn't bring it on his own. Managed to secure the lowest possible differential, which is nice. But yeah, in the end, it was all for naught, and Kingdra was able to kill that, and then Wishy-Washy came in. So obviously, I did make some mistakes, and I did want to talk about those. I think the big mistake was obviously assuming the Gengar set, and therefore sacking off my rocker, which I would assume was going to be able to get off rocks in the match. So I needed to make sure I get my rocker up safely, and rocks up safely, and then also obviously the Magearna play, which was, I thought, much more uncharacteristic of me, and I was more disappointed in that mistake than the other. The other one's like more of a learning experience, and this one was a mistake that I shouldn't have. Then the Magearna one was a mistake I shouldn't have made. Regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hoping to get better outcomes in the weeks to come. Obviously, that match ended up getting dictated completely by that air/miss, but which pissed me off to no end, because I ran air/, for the accuracy, but had it not happened, I obviously wasn't necessarily going to win either. The game was still very much in the air. That was the determining factor that took me out of the game. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a comment, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff. It is always very appreciated. Until next time, I will see you guys later. Kraken Nation, out.